Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Attorney John Deaton explains why the SEC will settle with Ripple before ever turning over the 63 Billy Boy Hinman emails, which, by the way, likely contain exculpatory evidence. Little speculation, but I think it's pretty reasonable considering how desperate the SEC has been to hide these documents, these emails. And also attorney Jeremy Hogan, who of course runs the very popular YouTube channel Legal Briefs, he warns that there is a chance for a lawsuit extension, which, as far as I can tell, would push this lawsuit into 2023. Yes, you heard that right, unfortunately. Not saying it's going to happen, but there is a path we could end up seeing unfold in which the SEC vs. Ripple lawsuit doesn't conclude until next year. Also, Congressman Warren Davidson says ETHgate is, quote, a great hearing topic, end quote, for the Oversight Committee. So we'll be talking about that. John Deaton had a couple comments on that as well. And also, attorney John Deaton asks the question and answers, what if the SEC had sued the Ethereum Foundation instead of Ripple? So plenty of exciting things to talk about, but before going any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a legal or a financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Damn it. And if you don't like it, well, you could just get out. So here's the headline from financefeeds.com. XRP lawsuit. SEC rather settle with Ripple than hand over docs, says attorney. The end of the SEC vs. Ripple lawsuit might be closer than ever, and the light at the end of the tunnel is the bulk of emails and notes related to the Hinman speech, an attorney linked to the case argued. Yeah, let me just pause to say, could be true, but again, wait till I get to what Jeremy Hogan has to say. And he's not trying to dampen the mood, he's just being a realist here. But yes, there is in fact a chance that this thing might go on much longer than we want it to. Anyway, piece continues. John Deaton, an attorney representing 65,000 XRP holders in the XRP lawsuit via amicus curiae status, explained why the judge's probable decision to maintain her ruling on the Hinman speech emails equals settlement. And actually, I'd love to know, that would be a fun poll. I want to know if most people, maybe I'll do this, I want to know if most people in the XRP community think that we're going to see this case fully adjudicated, end up at summary judgment, or if there will be a settlement. I personally am counting on a settlement. I'm not 100% sold on the idea, but I think more likely than not, yeah, we're going to see settlement, which I kind of would prefer. Anyway, piece continues. Not only are there 63 emails related to the speech, but there are 52 drafts of the key speech by the former SEC Director of Corporation Finance in 2018, where he considered Ether and Bitcoin as non-securities. Now, the SEC has recently hinted that if Judge Sarah Netburn sticks to her previous ruling of ordering the production of said emails, notes, and drafts, the plaintiff will appeal to Magistrate Annalisa Torres to make the final decision. The same goes for the Estabrook notes related to a meeting between ex-SEC's Elad Roisman and Ripple's Garlinghouse. So let's pause as a quick little refresher. The Estabrook notes, there was a lawyer at the SEC named Matthew Estabrook who left their employ January of this year, but In, I believe it was November of 2018, Brad Garlinghouse had a meeting with then SEC Commissioner Elad Roisman. That's one of the 5 commissioners to vote on whether or not legal action is brought against individual businesses, so on and so forth, for securities violations. Elad Roisman. And Elad Roisman told Brad Garlinghouse that he didn't think that XRP was a security. That was it, and he actually kind of apologized, in fact, for Brad even having to come in and talk about this. Not that he technically had to go, but you get the gist, right? There was no indication there that anybody at the SEC from that conversation thought that XRP actually was a security. And Matthew Estabrook was present, not participating in the meeting, but was instead just taking notes of the meeting between Brad Garlinghouse and Elad Roisman, which is important because if you ever get your hands on those notes, if it just verifies what Ripple has to say, well, you'll see what John Deaton has to say on that in just a second. Let me continue with the piece because I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. But anyway, it reads as follows. Why is the SEC making such efforts in dragging this issue for so long? Because it would put an end to the XRP lawsuit. These documents are so vital for the SEC that they will rather reach a settlement than handing them over to Ripple, said John Deaton. And here's a quote from him. Apparently, Roisman gave Garlinghouse the impression XRP was not considered a security. If the Estabrook notes support Garlinghouse's testimony and must be produced, then game over. The SEC will not, in my opinion, turn over these documents. Hence, if we get a ruling that they must be turned over, I believe the case settles within 60 to 90 days from that decision, or possibly sooner. End quote. Now, John Deaton reminded that Ripple lawyers informed the court very recently that they believe the SEC could be, quote, concealing potentially evidence that Hinman himself or others may have analyzed XRP and concluded it's not a security. And here's another quote from John Deaton. And then I'm going to get to the stuff from Jeremy Hogan on this exact it does have to do with this exact topic, in addition to the potential extension to 2023 of this case, which would be completely ridiculous. But anyway, here's the quote from John Deaton. In other words, is XRP contained within one of the 52 unique drafts of the speech? Was it removed? If so, by who? If it was included, by who? Obviously, I don't know precisely what's in the 63 emails, 52 drafts, or any of the suggestions and comments that accompany them. But it's safe to say it's helpful to Ripple and very damaging to the SEC's case. If XRP is contained within a draft, or it was suggested by one or more of the staff to be included along with Bitcoin and Ethereum, game over. End quote. And look, folks, I'm speculating here. That's what I'm counting on. Something to that effect. I'm telling you, the SEC hasn't fought harder on any other aspect of the case off the top of my head than to just do everything they can to conceal these notes, to prevent them from getting out into Ripple's hands. And that tells me the same thing it's telling John Deaton and probably all of you listening here. There's something so damning in these emails that it could potentially even hinder future potential lawsuits. So rather than take the loss here, they'd rather keep those notes back and live to fight another day. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Now, on this topic, and this gets into some comments from attorney Jeremy Hogan here, which was prompted by XRP community member Stefan Huber, who wrote the following on this very topic. He said, I mean, why even think about it for so long? Number one, Judge Netburn already reconsidered 3 times if the SEC really needs to turn over those documents. Of course, he's talking about the Hinman emails. And then he said, number 2, it doesn't matter if NetBurn now orders the SEC to now really turn them over. They appeal anyway. And this is where attorney Jeremy Hogan jumped in earlier today, and he said the following. Judge NetBurn knows this is being appealed up to Judge Torres to review, and then possibly even up to the Second Circuit. So she will probably want to draft a good order, knowing it will be under a lot of scrutiny. And that takes some time. So that's his tweet. Good point, and that's part of what I've been suspecting based on what I've been seeing in terms of lots of conversations on this topic within the XRP community for some time here. Judge Torres is going to end up having to say something about this, but it's another instance of like, why is the SEC fighting so damn hard on this? Think about that. And then somebody else responded to Jeremy Hogan on that and said, hi, Jeremy, my question then is why did it have to take a year or so to get to this point of possible appeals? Why didn't the judge just force it over to the first or second time to then maybe go through this appeal process? Diff being this process is done earlier. And here is Jeremy Hogan's response to that. My one criticism of Judge NetBurn and Torres is that they aren't pushing this case forward at speed. Otherwise, they've been very fair to Ripple. I don't know what to tell you. Looking on the positive side, I'd rather have good than fast. And then he wrote in parentheses, insert office joke here. I'll let you at home do that. I'm not going to insert the office joke here. That's what she said. But we're all 5 at heart, right? But look, as far as the speed of the case, yes, of course, we'd all love it to go faster. But, that's what she said, but, even so, again, we're all 5 here. But, even so, I'd rather have it done right, and if this is what it takes, cool. Because this is such a big deal. Like, the potential for appeal is rather tremendous here, and yes, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd pick, slow and cautious than fast and potentially missing something that is rather crucial to the case or getting something wrong. So, if it had to be one or the other, could there have been a happy medium? Possibly, but this is just not the way the judges roll. So I'd rather have this, frankly, and have them acting fairly towards Ripple, which they arguably have, as Jeremy points out here, than a potential worse alternative. We're sitting pretty here, all things considered, from my perch here. And then somebody named Stillman XRP wrote to Jeremy Hogan all up on the Twitters and said, so, this will likely not end in 2022, and we're going for extra innings, ... sad face. And Jeremy Hogan did respond with the terrible news as follows. Not that this is necessarily going to happen, doesn't even mean it's likely, but it's not fun to hear. Jeremy Hogan said the following. If Judge Torres allows the appeal of the deliberative process privilege issue, if it even makes it that far, then a ruling from the second court will take months, probably 4 or 5 months. If that happens, all bets are off as far as timelines. Tell you what, if that happens, that will really burn my biscuits, folks. My biscuits gonna done get all burnt out. I don't want that to happen. Again, not that it necessarily will, but it's something that's on the table, sadly. Now on to the next topic here from Warren Davidson, who has displayed quite a bit lately, over the last several days or so, that he seems to not be such a fan of Ripple and XRP. Although, to his credit, I don't think I have a pull-up for this video, but I think it was either yesterday or today, he did seem to indicate that he thought that what's happened regarding the whole situation with the SEC versus Ripple and XRP specifically, probably be oh no, I know what he said was that it was the SEC distorting the market, so he did seem to acknowledge that. And as you'll see from this tweet I'm about to read you, he does think that a further investigation seemed to be necessary, so that part's good. I'm just questioning why he's been eager to jump on top of potential bad news surrounding Ripple, as I've highlighted in recent videos. I don't know what's in his heart and his mind, but it's questionable. Anyway, here's what he tweeted out, though, earlier today. Good financial services hearing topics. Number 1, what makes a digital token a security? Number 2, can any entity raise capital to build a tradable digital asset outside of United States securities laws? Number 3, jointly, Ether, XRP, Solana, and SEC regulatory tactics. Yeah, that would be a good one. And number 4, security, investor protection, and fintech. And then he, in a separate tweet he wrote on this topic, as I've said since 2017, Congress needs to act. Topics are discussed internally and in press, but while I have your attention, the majority party schedules hearings, picks topics, and decides what bills get a vote. SEC has been disappointingly bad, except Commissioner Peirce. And so, look, Warren's indicating here, and this is his personal opinion, he thinks that if Republicans were in charge, which we'll see what happens come November, if they were actually in charge, if they were the majority party here, that these types of things that he's citing here, including XRP as it relates to SEC regulatory tactics, he does think that there would be hearings on this topic. That's his personal opinion. Now, Attorney John Deaton jumped in on what I just shared with you and wrote the following. Each one of these topics deserves a full hearing, but it would be amazing to get at least one hearing under the current leadership. The regulatory tactics topic should also cover the appearances of impropriety related to how enforcement actions are chosen. And then there was also this. Somebody named Crown for XRP wrote, right, when will the investigation into ETHgate take place? Yeah, I'd love to see that. And Warren Davidson responded, and he said, great topic, great hearing topic, but not likely until a Republican majority and resolution of the case with SEC, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd love to see ETHgate discussed. ETHgate's ridiculous. I mean, there's so many facts surrounding it. It's not a conspiracy theory. I made a video about this the other day. There's clear facts indicating this is real. It's grounded in reality. And it's just being ignored by anybody in power. It's ridiculous. And then there was this. John Deaton wrote, if the House flips, I remain confident the Oversight Committee will have no problem bringing Gary Gensler to the Hill to answer questions about several issues related to digital assets, including inquiries regarding ethics, conflicts, and appearances of impropriety. And so there you see John Deaton agrees with Warren that if Republicans were in charge, you'd start to see some action on this. So that's just their personal opinions. And then there was also this from Attorney John Deaton.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.